I'm working on an Audi TT radio. This one's advertised as being in the A4, A6, and TT. It's out of my 2001. This is the US model. I am having trouble where after about an hour, this radio just shuts off. It acts like somebody disconnected the power. So it shuts off, it won't turn back on. But if I leave the car off overnight, I come back in the morning, it will power right back on. I've removed the back of the radio. This is the part where the connectors would be. So that's what this is. This is the top. And looking at this, I have found a cracked solder joint. So it's this joint right here. I'll zoom in so you guys get a better look at it. It's one side of the 5 amp fuse. So what I suspect is happening is this is heating up, opening up, causing a loss of power to the radio. And then when it cools down, it makes a circuit again and then it works. So let me zoom in. I'll show you which one this is. I'll show you how to fix it. To get the radio out of one of these early 2000s Audis, you'll need a pair of these keys. They fit into the slots in the radio here. You push them in, they click, and then you can use them like handles to pull the radio out. It's only held in with those clips, so once these are put in and you pull, the whole radio comes out. My radio has only got 4 connectors you have to disconnect. So there's these 2 black ones right here. This is the main one for the radio. That's for the CD changer. I'm not sure what that one's for. And then there's these 2 for the antenna. So it's these 3 connectors here. Squeeze and pull them apart. And then wiggle off the ones for the antenna. You don't have to bother removing this panel to try and get inside. Everything you need to remove that rear board you can get to externally. So it's 6 screws. So it's these 2 here through the connector. And those are these really tiny Phillips head screws. And then 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And those are all JIS screws. So a JIS screwdriver. And you can tell that because they've got that little dot on the head. So remove those 6 screws. And then this back heat sink and circuit board will pull right off. And you can get to that joint. We zoom in on that. See that cracking? I'll put an arrow on screen. My finger's too large. But you can see where the leg of the connector comes through and it's cracked. So this is a really easy fix. Apply some flux, heat up a soldering iron, and reflow the joint. I'll take you over to the bench and we'll do that real fast. It does look like this back one here also has some cracks. So I'll add an arrow for that so you can see what that looks like. This is just some tinning flux. This will help the solder melt into place. All right, that's it. That's all we had to do. After you put the radio back in, because we disconnected it, it's going to be in safe mode. So it's going to want the security code. Hold down RDS and FM2, and it will prompt you for the code. And then use the number pad here to put in your code. Press and hold FM2 and RDS again. And then it'll start to work. All right, radio is back in. It seems to be working just fine. It always does when it's cold. So I won't know if this actually fixed the problem, but I'm 99% sure it will. So there you go. If you've got one of these 2000s Audis, an A4, A6, or TT that's got the Audi concert radio, and you're having a problem where it will randomly turn itself off and refuse to turn it back on, pull the radio out and take a look at those solder joints. Chances are good you'll find them cracked. Resolder them, reflow them, and hopefully your radio works again.